I spent a whole week preparing 5 elite level armor and class mixes that are gonna convince you that you should be mixing your gear in Terraria. The way this is gonna work is I'm gonna show you how a setup is made and then test it out on none other than Mr. Moonlord himself. So let's begin with the first class on my list. So the first class setup that I've got here is max defense in Terraria. To start off, you're gonna want a Solar Flare helmet, Beetle Shell, Valhalla Knight's Greaves, Hero Shield, Flesh Knuckles, Berserker's Glove, Paladin Shield, Frozen Shield, Ankh Shield, Celestial Shell, Brand of the Inferno, and an Aegis Fruit. Now that we've done this, we have a total of 163 defense, plus when we use the Brand of Inferno's guard with the shield, we get an insane 183 defense. But we can use a couple of potions to further increase this. And also one more thing, if it's nighttime, we become a werewolf and we gain a lot more defense. So in total, we're chilling at a solid 198 defense. So what's the point of such an outrageously high amount of defense? And well, you're about to see. I've got everything ready, and this is the Master Mode Moonlord, dealing a solid 1 damage. Let's see, I'm really worried about the big laser. Let's see just how much damage that does. Only 200. And finally we died. We lasted forever on that one. This setup went absolutely crazy, and I would definitely give it a go in your average Terraria playthrough. It might not be the most practical way to beat the Moonlord, but it definitely is a really fun way to play Terraria. Alright, so the next setup I'll be going over is max melee speed in Terraria. So for this setup, you're gonna want a Monk's Bushy Brow Bald Cap, a Shinobi Infiltrator Torso, Solar Flare Leggings, Fire Gauntlet, Berserker's Glove, Power Glove, Mechanical Glove, Celestial Stone, Celestial Shell, and Feral Claws. For the weapon, I've decided to use the Terrablade, and you'll want it reforged to light for maximum speed. Look how fast our Terrablade goes. So now, it's time to test it out on the Moonlord. I don't expect to beat the Moonlord. I have like half as much defense as I had with the max defense setup, but we'll give it a go. Please don't die. I'm getting absolutely obliterated. Well, there you have it, max melee speed in Terraria. It wasn't the most practical setup, as it was not able to beat the Moonlord without cheats, so I would not recommend this in a normal playthrough, but if you want to give it a go, it's definitely an excellent and fun thing to try in your Terraria world. Alright, so the next setup on our list is max regeneration in Terraria. And for this setup, what you're going to want is the Squire Great Helm, Valhalla Knight's Breastplate, Solar Flare Leggings, Band of Regen, Charm of Myths, Shiny Stone, Celestial Shell, Hero Shield, Star Veil, Bee Cloak, a Vital Crystal for increased life regen, Life Force Potions, Regen Potions, and a chair. It's time to come over, sit in a chair, and wait for the Moonlord to try and shred us to bits. Alright, so let's see. And there's where we die. This setup used to be considered the setup that could tank the Moonlord. The setup that you could AFK the Moonlord with a Stardust Dragon. I'm sure it would be better on Expert or Normal mode, but since we're in Master mode, the Moonlord deals so much damage that the regen just wasn't able to keep up. So I am gonna say, don't use this setup because it wasn't very useful at all. Alright, so now we're moving on to a bit of a different little setup here, and it's one I made myself. I made my very own Mage Summoner hybrid. So for this set, what you're gonna want is Spectre Mask, Spectre Robe, Spectre Pants, an Avenger Emblem, Arcane Flower, Mana Cloak, Papyrus Scarab, Necromantic Scroll, Celestial Cell, Fishron Wings, and then for the Mage weapons, I have Stellar Tune, Razor Pine, the Razor Blade Typhoon, and the summoner weapon is the Terra Prisma. You're also going to want mana potions and an arcane crystal, which when used gives a permanent mana regen buff. Along with this, what you're going to want to use is the bewitching table and the crystal ball for all of your special buffs. And there we go, we have 4 summon slots, plus we have a lot of magic damage. In this setup, you can also use summoner potions if you're feeling a little spicy and want that extra summon slot. And now with all of our buffs collected, it's time to fight the Moonlord. And here we go with the Moonlord fight. Well, that went terribly. I think what went wrong is I didn't have enough defense and enough movement to actually outmaneuver the Moonlord, so I just died almost instantly after spawning him in. At the end of the day, I would not recommend this setup because it kinda really sucked. Alright, and on that extremely happy note, it's time for the final setup of the video, which is, of course, a ranged summoner hybrid. I've never seen this happen before, but I wanted to try it. So for this setup, we've got Shroomite Mask, Shroomite Breastplate, Shroomite Leggings, Avenger Emblem, Papyrus Scarab, Necromantic Scroll, Recon Scope, Celestial Shell, Putrid Scent, and a hoverboard. On top of that, our weapons of choice will be the Vortex Speeder and the Terra Prisma. We'll use ammo reservation potions, lots of Luminite bullets. Alright, and along with this, we're going to be using the Bewitching Table ammo box and some summoning potions for that extra summoning slot. Yeah, I've decided I'm going to use chlorophyte bullets to help with the range. This weapon just doesn't have good aim. So yeah, now it's time to test this setup out on the Moonlord. Oh my goodness, that setup shredded Moonlord. Alright, in conclusion for that setup, that was crazy. The sheer damage per second, I think we were at like 5,000 damage per second at sometimes. The Terra Prisma complemented the Ranger so well. 10 out of 10, would recommend.